I kind of built my life on Matthew 6:33 is seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these things will be added onto you.
Right.
And
That's great.
so that's my foundation. And other than that, I couldn't do it without the village that I have to help me.
Yes.
My wonderful husband, my family, with 3 kids and trying to be a professional working mom. It can be a lot at times trying to be in all the places at once and all the things for all the people. But I definitely could not do it by myself.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our Century Check-In podcast, brought to you by Century Bank, where we take banking personally. We're your hosts, Jill and Janet. We're back with you this morning, and we have a special guest this morning, and we're so excited to have Lauren Mizell. She's our CFO at Century Bank. She's also a mama to 3 beautiful little girls. She is treasurer to the PTO. She's soccer mom and coach. What did I leave out, Lauren?
Sunday school teacher.
Sunday school teacher,
3 and 4
yes,
year olds,
that's right.
yeah.
Sunday school teacher. So Lauren is here joining us this morning to talk a little bit about our relationships in the community. Like I just said, we take banking personally.
Juggling life.
And so we wanted to talk to her about being busy, being a professional, being a mama, being all the things and what it takes for you to be successful in that role. So, Janet, what are we going to start off with this morning? What do you want to say?
Well, I just want to hear about Lauren's, life. How does she juggle all of those things and be just so great like this?
Wow, all the compliments are coming this
yes.
morning,
Y'all are
Lauren.
making me sound way better than I really am.
No. And then doing all the things you do and the community involvement as well, because I know that I love community involvement, but it's a lot sometimes.
It is.
I love it. I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't do it. So, but with 3 kids, I want to hear that.
Yeah, it can definitely be a lot at times for sure. Honestly, for me, my life is founded on my relationship with the Lord. And so, I kind of built my life on Matthew 6:33 is seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these things will be added onto you.
Right.
And
That's
so, so that's my foundation. And other than that, I couldn't do it without the village that I have to help me.
Yes.
My wonderful husband, my family, with 3 kids and trying to be a professional working mom. It can be a lot at times trying to be in all the places at once and all the things for all the people. But I definitely could not do it by myself. Like single moms, I don't know how they do it because I certainly couldn't. But that and my team here, this place, Century Bank, it's just such a great place to work, and I know y'all know that.
Yes.
It is.
And that allows us to, be more involved in the community and like being involved in the PTA.
Family oriented.
Yes, so family
The bank
oriented.
is so
Very family
family
oriented.
oriented. I love that.
Yes, yeah,
So,
definitely. And the bank, we truly care about our communities that we're in.
yes.
That's right.
And so, this year we've done so many, or in 2024, so many
24.
community- Yeah, we're in 25 now.
25 now.
Sponsorships and that sort of thing. So my oldest daughter plays soccer, and one of the big things we did last year was the bank sponsored the uniforms for the league, and so it was great getting to see everyone out there running around with
Yes.
Century Bank on their shirts.
So that was every team, not just your team?
every team.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay. How about
Yeah.
that?
I know.
Yeah, so I think that was a big sponsorship to help the league out,
They do.
and which is a great organization in itself.
And soccer is such a growing sport
It is.
across the board, girls and boys.
Yes, yeah.
It's a growing sport. Well, let's talk a minute about community involvement. Janet is so involved in the community where she's in the Alabama division.
Yes.
She's served on so many boards. Currently, you're involved heavily with the chamber, right?
Mostly, I guess, more heavily with the Mobile Chamber, but I'm also the Sims Chamber and the Southwest Mobile Chamber, and those as I said, I just love it. But there's so much to do and people to meet. I feel like that's a big part of it is meeting the people that you wouldn't have met if you weren't involved in these organizations and the committees that I've been on as well. I mean, these are like they are family, So
And networking through that. Your current role, we talked about that in the previous episode, but before that, you were a loan officer. You made the loans, you brought the customers in.
Yes.
And in those community involvement projects, did you see that really helped you to bring in new clients to the bank, new customers to the bank?
Yes, it's just like we to deal with people that we know from banking with us. Well, same goes with the chamber network. The chamber networks, they like to deal with the other people that they meet at the chamber. So businesses like to deal with businesses that they know and have things in common, are also involved with the community because that's important to them as well as it is to us.
Right. Right. So, Lauren, you were talking about some of the big things we did last year. I know I'm currently serving on the board to the Singing River Head Start. And just touch on that a little bit from your perspective, the donation that we've made to them. I think when we presented the check, what did you say in December? This is the 6th year?
Wow.
So we've been doing it since 2019, and every year that it rolls around, it's always something special to me because it makes me think of Kathy Kirkwood. And so in 2019, Kathy came to me after a Head Start meeting. Like, she was served on the board.
That's right.
And she was like, I'm so excited. We have this great opportunity. I think it's going to be a tax credit for the bank. And so from there, I kind of took that and ran with that and did some research. And the school district makes it a super easy process.
That's right.
So it's a dollar for dollar tax credit.
That's
so essentially, it's like you're paying your state taxes to your local community, which
That's awesome.
Who wouldn't want to do that,
Right.
To get to see those tax dollars spent here. And so, any individual or business can do it. And so since 2019, the banks have been giving money. And so last year, we were very close to $1 million total that we've given, which is huge.
It is huge. I mean, in a 6 years period of time, that is huge.
That is huge.
Let me just clarify really quick. I said the Head Start, so it's not to the Head Start directly. It's the school board and the Head Start because it's the pre-K class.
Yeah, so it's called the Early Learning Collaborative Act.
Right.
And so so it's donated to the school district itself, but individuals and businesses can actually say, if they want to split it, some to the Head Start, some to the school district. And so it has to be spent in those pre-K classrooms. That's how the tax credit is written.
That's right.
That the act itself. And so, that's where that comes from. But it did, this past year, we did split and gave $150 to the school district and $50,000 to the Head Start.
That's right.
And
so the Head Start doesn't, they only have one class currently that qualifies in that program.
Yeah.
Not all of their classes are pre-K, so they don't all qualify for that.
Yeah.
But it's been a great thing. We've been the lead partner with the Head Start for several years now, for a long time. It's we love to serve there. So we do always want to try to designate so that we know that, we can give a part of that to them.
Yes. And I didn't know about the dollar for dollar. I bet a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, and it's really an easy process. I mean, once you decide the donation you want to give, Christy Kirkwood is the lead partner at the school district, and so you just get with her. She gives you paperwork, and then you'll get something from the state official after the donation's been given, and so it's a very easy process.
It is.
Okay.
So in a lot of areas that we serve here locally in our community, because it's smaller than the Alabama market, has a lot to do with our school programs. So. But now, do you ever serve in a lot of school programs? Is that something that y'all are able to do at the Alabama division?
I don't know of a lot. We do have schools that we go to or partner with,
right?
But not on a regular basis like that.
Right.
It's I think it's all when they I know that two of the schools though we've supported them by they got the Jumbotron,
Yes, at their field. Yes. Okay.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
So we have supported that, and which, that's going to be great because we're going to have a Century Bank night, and it's going to be really fun and special.
Century Bank night.
Yes, how about
be
that?
nice.
Y'all
We'll
have to
have
come
to
out.
see, we'll have to
Y'all
see if
have
we're
to come out
available.
to Mobile County for that.
Okay, yeah, we'll
So,
try to do that.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. So yeah, we do. I guess we just we don't have the head start. We don't, or we're not involved in that part. So that's maybe something we should look at too.
Yeah, I don't know if that is that. We're not sure if that program's available in Alabama. I don't know that that's.
I used to be. I don't know if it is now. I used to be involved. I know that we did. I was involved with the Kiwanis years ago, and we would go read
Yes.
to classes.
Yes.
We'd bring a book, and we would read the book with the children, and then we would leave the book with them, and that was so much fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
We do that too. We do that in the
Okay.
the county school district and also with the Head Start classes. So yeah,
That's what I thought, but I
and
wasn't sure.
that involves a lot of employees. So it really gives our employees who don't always have the opportunity to serve on a board, but they want to be
Right.
involved in the different departments. Because like we're up front, but Lauren's in the back with accounting, and some of her girls
Yes.
that work with her, they have the opportunity to go. So it just allows all of the employees to be involved and have
Right.
a part
I think
in
ours
it.
is more like with chamber events.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did Feeding the Gulf Coast in the Mobile division there, and that, or Mobile County, and we went out there and supported that. And really, that a lot of people. This was after hours as well, and they came out there because they wanted to be part of it.
Right.
So that was really fun
Well,
too.
now talk a little bit about that. What exactly is feeding the goat? What is that?
I think y'all have that also here, but this was the distribution center for Mobile County, and
Okay.
I mean, oh my goodness, there was food everywhere that they distribute. I mean, they get the food, they distribute to, those in need, and that's,
Okay, so it's like a food pantry, food bank type thing. It's not like you're cooking a meal and serving.
Oh,
It's not like
no,
that.
It's all distribution for food that will go out.
Okay.
That's food that's packaged and
Great.
canned and things like that.
And I think we just recently had a bank officer, right, that's serving on the board there.
Yes, and that we actually have
Yes.
8 local
Karen is
drop-offs.
now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she's on the board now.
Yes, she's
And
our
we-
Mobile County division manager.
Yes,
So-
and so we have 8 local drop-offs for Feeding the Gulf Coast, and the bank was actually able to do another
Oh,
pretty large
good.
donation to them in 2024. They were actually doing something very similar to the school district and the dollar for dollar tax credit
Okay.
thing, and so we were able to give $20,000 to Feeding the Gulf Coast. In
That's
2024.
awesome.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't think I knew that.
I don't think I did either.
That's great.
Yeah, so
So-
definitely, it's a great organization, and they
Yeah.
help a lot of people.
They
Right.
do.
I know
Yeah.
Karen just got on that board because when we went to that chamber event, we realized how much they did.
Yeah,
And, you don't know these things till you go out there and actually see it in person.
right.
So it means a lot to do that.
Well, and I feel like that, our management, Van and Dan, I think that they're always wanting to be sure that we're involved in what we're
Yes.
giving to
Right.
and supporting. So it's
Right.
good that we can go out and see that, truly those things that they've become passionate about giving to is something that we truly want to
I'm
support.
just glad that they want us to do it because I love
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, I do.
So
I
I'm glad
really
it fits in with.
I know. We
yeah.
love community involvement.
Yeah.
We really
Yes,
do.
we do, and they
Yes.
support it totally. So that's it's been awesome at Century Bank.
It has been. So let's talk about a little bit more involvement. So you're the treasurer at the PTO, and you are soccer mom, and then turned into soccer coach.
Oh.
I remember that story a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and which you
Wow.
now absolutely love, don't you?
Yes, it is.
So you love being the coach?
She
it's
does.
a lot of
Oh,
fun.
that
which,
would be so
I mean,
scary
I
for
might,
me.
Slightly have a control issue, but it's okay. So I get to say
Yeah.
when we're having practice
I
because
know.
I'm the coach. So
You're like, this fits into my schedule. Okay, this is where I'm practicing right here.
yeah, so it actually works out, in my favor. But it's so much fun, and my daughter loves it.
And your daughter's on the team?
she is my oldest
The
daughter.
oldest one.
The oldest. That's
Now the
awesome.
middle, Emmy Grace. She don't play
she's
soccer.
a very non-contact person.
Yeah.
So
She's more my speed.
Okay.
She'll be into more artsy. She's actually, she's 8 years old and is really into sewing. So
Sewing?
my husband's
Oh my
grandmother has
gosh.
taught her how to sew.
But see,
And
I
so-
love that because
too. That
kids
is
don't get
awesome.
interested in
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
like you're talking about Tyler's grandma, who is famous in this county, this city, for
Really?
being the seamstress that everybody is trying to get
They're
in
hard to
with.
find these days.
They really
Yeah,
are.
it
So,
really is.
That's, tell her to stay with that.
So I'm excited about that.
Me
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, she's actually sold a few things. Like she's made like some scrunchies and like eyeglass
Oh.
case, and she's so proud. It's the sweetest
And
thing.
how old is she?
She's 8.
She's 8.
That's incredible.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if the 3 of them, I mean, it is complete entertainment.
So-
Their personalities are similar, but yet opposite sometimes, I think, but they are just hilarious.
So, okay, the sewing came up from your mother?
From my husband's grandmother.
Your husband's grandmother.
Yes.
That's awesome, though.
So, so she
So
helps
she
me-
learned
yes,
something from her.
from her, and it's so sweet because they have such a
is.
special bond because of
Oh,
that.
for sure.
And and she loves it. I mean, she absolutely loves it. I'm like, man, if you stick with this at 8, you'll be you'll be
years
great
old,
when you're
yes,
older.
For
So,
sure. And she'll be like, I'll
I
have
love
crooked
that.
fingers at 30 years old.
Yeah. So she wants her own sewing machine in her room and all the things, which we're like, okay, I don't know if we're quite there yet, but
Yes, she needs a
That's so
sewing
cute.
machine.
She does need a sewing
Well,
machine.
her granny's got her one, but it's just
Oh,
not
okay.
it's just a fact of when you say it's okay to bring it. I see.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so she's still going to
8
Granny's
is
to do all that.
Yeah, we don't want to lose any fingers. Just
That's
yet.
right. Okay,
Just yet.
she still has to be supervised.
Yes.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Well, so let's talk a little bit about, whenever we're talking about the bank and how we're involved in community, and we take banking personally, which, we love to say here, and we want it to be true. We strive for that to happen. So, just going a little bit forward and expanding on the donations that we give, what are some other areas like that we see that, we don't always advertise, that we see that we're involved in, things that the bank as a whole and us as employees are very passionate about? What are some of those things? I feel like that we have so many great employees who always want to give their time or want the bank to sponsor. Of course, we can't do everything,
Right.
Yeah.
but we're always looking, I feel like, for a new community project, things like that we want to be sure that the bank supports if it's positive and it's going to make an impact in our community.
I think a lot that we do in George County is focused around the schools. And a lot of that has to do with because we do have employees that have, children in the
Children there.
schools and around the sports and that sort of thing. We do a lot, for the football team
We do.
and the baseball. So we're very involved in that. So that I know that's one area that we're passionate about.
I think so too. I think that being involved in the school, and plus in Mississippi, like we're more, I think our community might be a little bit more close-knit because we're
Smaller,
smaller.
Yeah.
And so
that makes sense.
that is
Yeah.
a lot of times where our focus is as far as that goes.
We try to reach out in Mobile County. It's just big.
It is. Well, it is
Yeah,
big.
it is.
The bigger your community, the more I think focused in on just specific things
Right.
you have to be.
We
Just
do
so
have 5 branches, but 5 branches in Mobile County, we have to really spread ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then Fairhope, they've got their own thing going on over there. They have a lot going on in Baldwin County as well, and I love going over there and participating in some of their community events. They do a lot over there as well. But I think we just try to do a lot of the community, like I said, the networking, just to let people, know we're here. We want to do what we can, and we do get on anything that we can get involved in. That's where I find out about things, though.
Yeah.
So,
Lauren was speaking to her, personal story about juggling and being a mom and having all the people that help her. And I know
Yes.
your daughter's grown now, but how did you do that, Janet? Whenever you were raising your daughter, she was in
Yes.
all the things. How did that work out for you?
yes, well, again, it takes a village. Yes, my mother kept my daughter. I was very blessed to have her at 7 weeks old, till she could drive, just about, to keep her. I mean, even when she got her car, my daughter would go over and visit my mom because she was so used to being over there.
That's
But,
right.
so it was, and I was a single mom for part of that time. So without my parents and just that community, it would have been very difficult. But because I was working full time, but it was, like I said, the village is manageable. just don't ever, think that you can't, accept help or, because that's what the village is about.
Yeah,
It is.
that's definitely a misconception for sure.
Exactly.
Because,
Yeah.
when I first had my first child, you want that mentality, like, I
You
got
do.
it. I don't, I can do it, but you can't. You cannot do it by
No.
yourself, especially trying to work and
And all the things.
and juggle all of those things. So
Yes.
you need to accept help.
Yes.
do.
Don't
Well,
be
and-
afraid
Yeah.
to,
It is a
okay.
yeah, and it's a blessing. I think probably sometimes, of course, we take a lot of things for granted, but it's a
Yes.
blessing to you when you have those people, you have that village
Yes.
that can help you.
I still have a village.
I know, we all do. And then
yes.
there are people that serve in the other role that are in that person's village. They have to help and do and be the Uber driver and take them back and forth and all those things. So
That's right.
I was serving in that role whenever my nieces and my nephew were smaller. My sister-in-law had a bad car accident. So, and I was younger then. Thank God I was younger then. I couldn't do that right now. Cheerleading practice and soccer practice and all
Yes,
those things. But
it is
it
a lot.
does.
Yes.
I understand what you're talking about with your village. So I do appreciate the fact that y'all recognize that.
Yes, so
and
my
that you're-
mom would take her to dance because she took dance for 15 years. So my mom would take her to dance, and then I would pick her up, and it
Yeah.
worked. We
Yeah.
made it work. So it never felt like it was horrible or hard because we just worked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during that time, like Lauren, the girls are little and she's working and she's so heavily involved in the community. Were you doing that much community involvement when she was small and during that time that you said you were a single parent?
Well, as I said, Kiwanis, I think I joined Kiwanis when she was 1. So that's really the Mobile Chamber and the Kiwanis organization was my first kind of step into it. And then, well, here I am today.
Yeah.
That was in 92. So I love it. It's just
I do too.
It's a good network, though. Like we were talking about, it's a good network to between that and church. She got her first job was just like Chick-fil-A, come work for me because we were all in church groups together. So that worked out. And then
so you were going to church with like the manager of the Chick-fil-A?
His daughter and my daughter were in the same youth group.
Okay.
And she was in the youth choir and had the youth group choir and what else did they do? It's been a long time ago.
So they had a lot of activities
they
together.
Did.
Okay.
And so it was Sunday we were there all day.
Yeah.
So but so those networks I think bring a lot of value to everything that you do in life. To help you.
Yeah. So she had a connection and then she got in.
Yes.
So Lauren, I know you came to work here young, like right out of college, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of a similar story. I ran into Miss Judy actually in the wellness center, and
really?
she was like, "You're back in George County. What are you doing?" And she was like, "You need to talk to Mr. Doug to come talk to Doug." And so that's how I'm here, and that was because they knew my parents, and
that's right.
So because he had worked with my dad, and anyway, so it definitely is all about connections and meeting people and being involved in the communities. You meet people, and just like at soccer. I meet these children and you make real connections and then meet their parents. And, even like just the other day, I ran into one of the girls in Wayne Lee's and she was like, "Oh, hey, Coach Lauren." It's just sweet to see people that otherwise, you would never know these people.
That's right. That's right.
That is fun.
And it all kind of ties back to them recognizing you as a person, but also as an employee at the bank and making that connection. And, sometimes you can make a connection with the parent. You never know. Somebody might be looking for a job.
Yeah.
We're always looking to hire people at
that,
every level.
don't we?
Yeah, we are. So I feel like that's a great way, not only for us to represent the bank, to give back to the community, but for us to also meet people and, seek people out who we feel like may be a good fit in our organization to work with us. I'm trying to think right off the top of my head, anybody that I know that did that. I know there's one or two, but I can't think right at the moment.
She went to church with me, and that's
that's right. I'm so glad you said that. See, I needed a reminder.
I've got one too.
So Edie is here at the main office.
Okay.
She was hired in as a teller at the entry level position. She was going to church with Lauren we hired her. She was 18.
Yeah.
And so just recently, last week, she's been promoted to she's our bank-wide trainer at the Universal Banker position.
Yeah, that's
She has
awesome. I
excelled
didn't know
in
that.
every position we've put her in. She has excelled. I've been so impressed with her, and I love her. I just about can't do without her when it comes to servicing my customers. So
Yeah.
she has been a great asset.
For sure.
And
So I've got a couple of the same circumstances. They were referred. Well, one was referred from another employee, and she came in for a teller position, part time. And I said, "Are you sure we've got a full time teller position and you would be perfect?" And she said, "I haven't worked in 8 years. It's Brandy Brown." And I said, "Oh no, you're ready. Come on, you're ready." She came to work as a teller, a full time teller. And then she did so well. Then she went to the desk then. And then she did so well at that, she wanted to learn loans. My lending assistant, and now she's a manager. So,
and now she's managing which branch?
She's at the Cottage Hill and
Cottage
Hillcrest
Hill.
branch.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And she's also making loans.
She's doing loans, and she's getting out now in the community as well. And she just loves it. And I just love it that I could help, that for her.
Right. Well, it was a connection that y'all made. You brought her in. You gave her the opportunity. And even though, like, Lauren brought Edie in, she brought her in not to her department because she's in, she runs accounting, but to a front office position, introduces to us. And then it just kind of went from there. So you can bring them in yourself. Train them and mentor them. Well, we like to promote.
I know, we do like to promote, and we do like to develop our employees as well. I love to do that and obviously I love to do that and see them move up and do well and be successful. So.
And it was a little stressful for you because you kept losing people, but Janet, that's a testament to who you are. As a leader, as a manager, as a mentor, that those people came in under your guidance, and they were able to, flourish and move up and succeed.
I'm just proud of them.
We're all proud of them. Both of those are great girls.
Yes, they are.
So, a little bit more about community involvement, because I feel like that's what this episode was kind of geared around, was just wanting to be sure that our listeners, our customers, know that we are passionate about our community that we serve in, and that we want to also, it's important to give back, but also we need to be sure that we're being a great partner to our community. So just speak to that a little bit, Lauren, just from, your standpoint as the CFO, as a bank officer, just how you see the bank going in that direction.
So I think something to add to that is that, we don't just try to dump money into an organization, but we also want to be involved in that and help and, be there to support them. And so not just, spending money and just that being that. And so I think we do a great job at that. Through the schools, we are involved, in things the hospital has going on. Just here in Lucedale, that's some of the major things that we do. And so from the bank level, I think that we really try to, spend our money wisely and where it's helping, really benefiting people and really helping our communities and really being a partner.
Yeah. So in 2023, I'm pretty sure it was 23, we kicked off this campaign with our employees called Work, Serve, Play. And so just from a management standpoint, speak a little bit about that, like how that came to be, like where did that idea come from? And I know it was geared toward us giving back, but it was also geared toward getting all of our employees involved in wanting, in giving them the opportunity, but also getting them interested in wanting to be involved in the community.
So the Work, Serve, Play campaign, we told every employee they could have $100 to spend towards whatever organization in their communities they wanted to. And so I think that was our way of trying to push people out and, get involved in something. And I think people were really excited about it. And we did that last year, and we'll continue to do that this year.
So that will continue this year. Okay, that's great. All right.
I was just about to ask the same question.
I know.
We're just make that decision now.
Well, you just made that decision, Lauren.
I feel like you probably have the authority to make that decision, and we've got it recorded. So here we go.
I have to say, because I was, in the branch then, and it went over so well, and it made the employees
Yeah.
feel like they had a part in what the bank is doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
for
Because,
sure.
sometimes they don't feel like the bank is giving money to this and that,
Yeah.
but they don't necessarily feel like they're getting that. So I think it's really like we were able to give one person's daughter was, they were building a playground and at their daycare.
Oh.
And we all pitched in and gave money so that,
Yeah.
it was just great to be able to see her so excited,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we all were pitching in, and we did the same thing for a high school when they needed something for the football
Okay.
team.
Okay.
We did that the year before.
Well, and also too, we have a lot of sometimes just I feel like it's just a period that we go through, but we're kind of in a season right now that we have a lot of newer employees. So in the last couple of years since that campaign started off, I feel like probably from a supervisor or manager standpoint, we may have maybe dropped the ball just a little bit on being sure that they were educated and knowing what that program was about. So just a real quick story, we had a branch meeting last month, the end of December, we kind of ended the year, and we've got some new people up front. And so they actually took that opportunity in our smaller setting to feel comfortable to kind of ask some questions about that
good.
because they were a little bit intimidated, I think, to respond to the messages, to kind of see, what qualifies as that. Like, what do we think? And if we think this is important, does management think it's important? That kind of thing. So, I felt good about the fact that they were interested and asking the question.
The $100?
Their
Okay.
specific donation, like where they could give their specific donation.
Okay, so was there any kind of limitations or something? Is that what they were asking?
I think they had the impression that there was, and not because anybody told them that. I just think that, we probably didn't explain that to the new people.
Okay.
But I think, a lot of them left that meeting excited about that. And
Yeah.
so I'm hoping that Stacy will get some new entries in the next couple
That's
months.
right. Yes.
And so another thing about the work serve play is we kind of form it like a competition. Not a competition in a bad way, but
Okay.
in 2023, at the end of the year, we said that whoever has the most community involvement will get $1,000 to spend to whatever organization.
Yes,
they
that's
want.
right. Yes.
And so that was Jessica Neese in 23. Last year, Isaac Marshall won that. And so
in 24, he
in
just
24,
yeah,
yes.
he just
Yeah.
did 24.
So-
So, and how that works is like that's recognized by management, like the employee who gives the most community involvement or has showed the most interest. Is that how that works?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So just another way to kind of push people out there and, get excited about helping in their communities.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, Janet, Isaac works for the insurance company. You've had the opportunity to meet him, right?
I was just trying to think. It must be the insurance company. 'Cause
Yeah, he
that's
does.
not
So
written
we
down.
have
Yeah.
Century Insurance,
Okay, yes.
and he works with the insurance company. And, they are a smaller office, so we
Yes.
include them in all of our things that we do. And Isaac I'm telling you, he's been a great addition to our team. So he never shies away from anything you ask him to
Obviously
do.
not.
And he's so likable and he's so relatable. He really, I've been to a few events with him, and he's great. And so he really has been very helpful and very interested in being involved in community sponsorships and things like that we have going on. So I was glad, I was tickled at the party whenever he was the winner for 24.
Yeah.
So Isaac also goes to church with Lauren, but is related to Lauren's husband.
Yeah.
So she's just making inroads all the way
I
around.
know.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's something employees I wish would think about is if you know someone great that is in the job market, get him in here. And
Yes.
And it, like you said, it doesn't have to be in your department. It
That's
can
right.
just be where they fit. So,
And probably 9 years ago, maybe 8, I don't know. But anyway, so I said, okay, so she comes in, and I needed to make my branch, so it was like all about that. So
You're like, I'm keeping this one for myself.
yay. So I hired her, and she is a teller. She did amazing. Jamie, y'all know Jamie.
Jamie?
Yeah, she's in business banking now. she got promoted. They took her away from me. But y'all know she just got another promotion.
She did.
Yeah.
Senior lending assistant, is that right?
Yes, that is right. Senior in the business banking department.
So,
Janet, I'm glad you said that. I did not know you brought Jamie in. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I told y'all I love to develop people.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to see people succeed, because I felt like when I started in banking as a teller 41 years ago, I just came in as a teller, just thought I would like banking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was given these opportunities, and every time somebody said, "Who wants to do this?" I do, and they.
Yeah. Well, you have to.
They let me do that. They let me just do.
And that's what you have to do. You
learn.
have to be willing to show that you're passionate, and that you're a team player, and all the things that management wants to see in you as a person that can be developed and grow.
And you have to have the right management.
That's right.
Though, to be able to allow that, because sometimes management gets something in their head, and this is what they want to do. And Century has just been so great about letting us really take the lead on that. So
whenever Lauren was saying, you don't have to bring them into your department, we have a younger girl that's in operations. She's in deposit operations, and I knew her parents, and she came by and wanted to get a job. And at that time, we did not have a position up front, but I wanted her so bad. I was like, she's going to be so good. But they had a position open over there. And so I said, well, put your application in and let me talk to them.
And you want the best for her.
Well, you do. Yes. And and since then, we've had a couple positions, and I'm like, hey, come back over here and work for me. She's like, no, she loves it over there. And she's doing a great job. Like that, she's found her niche, and they need her over there. But it is.
Orange is like, quit trying to take our people.
Yeah, they're like, quit trying to take our people. And I'm like, well, you got one of mine, so it's a little tit for tat here. But anyways, but she has been a great, she's been a great asset, and I'm so glad that we were able to get her. So it's not all about having to find somebody that you need in your department. It's about, like you said earlier, it's a fit for our team, for our organization. So
because you can teach people. You can't teach. There's certain things you can't teach people, like their personality, work ethic.
That's
so
right.
if you have someone who's a great person and would be a great fit, then
That's
yes,
right.
because it's been they have to have that that want to to learn more, move up, develop.
Yeah.
So I love developing people all day, but if they don't want to be, so we've just had some great people.
Yeah,
we have.
And we still have these great people.
We do. So the two that you're actually talking about three. Because you said Brandy, you said Amanda, and now Jamie.
Yeah.
So look at you. I did not know that you brought Jamie in.
I mean, I was just fortunate enough to have them in my branch.
Right.
And they just, I'm just so happy for them.
I know. I am too. They really, I've had the opportunity to work with Amanda and Jamie. And I know Brandy, but I haven't had the opportunity to work closely with her yet. But we've talked several times, and I do love her. She has a great
Amanda
personality.
actually worked here,
years ago when she was in college. She worked in our division. She sure did. Actually, mostly in the Jackson County division when we had when Mississippi was split into counties.
That's right.
But
She's
did work
from Hurley, I think.
She is. Right. She's originally from Hurley, and so I did have the opportunity to know her then and work with her then. And I love her. She is great.
Well, she was my head teller when I first came to the bank almost 12 years ago, and she was great. But she was there. She got a job that, with her career, in finance at the hospital, and I'm like, oh. But then I had the opportunity to steal her back. So so it's worked out great.
Right. All right. Well, let's see. There's a couple more things that I wanted to ask you about, Lauren. So just from backing up, just so we can kind of wrap this up about community involvement, going forward into this year, are there any new projects? Like, is there any new community event or any new, what am I trying to say, organization that we might be looking at? Are we looking at a couple? We're just not sure yet.
I cannot think
To
of any off the top of my head.
To sponsor.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure some of that will probably come in through the Work Surf Play. But as far as our, our big things, we kind of have the ones that we typically give to, and so I'm sure
those
like
continue.
The school and that sort of thing, those will continue.
And you said Work Surf Play is going to continue. And
it is now.
Yeah. It is now. Well, you said it. It's recorded, so we're good.
It's recorded. That's right.
What about Alabama, Janet? Are there any? I feel like Feeding the Gulf Coast is that's a new thing that we're sponsoring.
That is. I would have to say that would probably be the newest. because, like I said, Karen Gennaro just got on the board.
Yeah.
So, and we went to that. And really, I think it was because we went to that function that the Mobile Chambers, they sponsored a Business After Hours, and we went, and seeing what they do, it was
Yeah.
so much. So anyway, Karen's on the board now, so we're proud of that. And I don't know, I'm sure we'll come upon some other things.
I know. Well,
It's still new in the year.
I feel like that we're always open, to looking into new areas that we can be involved in our community and give back and things like that.
I agree.
So let's see. I think that might be all for today. Is there anything else that we left out, Lauren, that we want to talk to you about? I'm so glad you agreed.
Me too.
We didn't have to twist your arm too hard, did we?
Not too much. Took a little bit of
Convince.
A little bit.
Convince her from Stacy, but she did a good job. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Stacy will reel you in.
She has that
She
talent,
will.
sister. She does. Well, I'm glad you decided to come on. I told you in the beginning when we first started this, I was like, Lauren, you're going to be a guest, and you're like,
That's right.
I don't know.
So really, she did know.
She did know. She just didn't
Didn't know today.
Didn't know
She didn't know today, and also she knew that I wanted her to, but she never gave me a definite. But
Well, I appreciate y'all having me.
I knew we would twist her arm. Well, I appreciate you coming on. We're we're excited to have you here. Yep. So on the next episode, we're going to be diving into a few more things like construction loans, mortgage rates, things like that. That's coming up in like our next episodes. Just from a rate standpoint, where are you seeing that going? How do you feel about that? I know that's such a loaded question. I know.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. I'm definitely not going to try to make a rate call.
No,
that's for
absolutely
sure.
not.
But
No.
I mean, they're saying trending down, but who knows?
That's right.
With the next few weeks, the
think maybe a
inauguration,
slow trend down,
there's
don't you
no
think?
telling.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be anything drastic.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
it
that's
doesn't
just what I
seem
think.
like anything drastic, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens with inflation
Right.
and all
I
those
think
good
so
things.
too. I know. So I think that people have been waiting the last part of last year as far as new builds, new constructions.
Right.
Purchases have been kind of holding a little bit. We definitely haven't been as busy as we were in the last several years, but I'm wondering, I'm anxious to see how that's going to go this year with rates, because we have so many customers that want to also, like, they're waiting. I have a lot of customers that are ready to build, they want to build, but they're waiting.
Yeah.
Which I feel like consciously is probably, if they don't have to, is a good decision.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So, yeah.
We might have you back on. We'll see how that goes.
Sounds good.
All
Well, that'll
right.
be interesting to talk about.
I know it. Well, that's all for today.
Great having you here today, Lauren.
It has. It
I really
has.
enjoyed. I don't get to talk
I know.
to
it's
you as
so
much,
fun.
so I
Whenever
think
get
it's the
to-
most we've ever got to really talk together. So
I know.
yeah, it's been great.
It
Thank
has
you.
been.
fun.
I'm so proud you came.
Me too. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it for today. And join us next time. And we'll see you guys later. Have a great day.
Bye.